Get ready to flex your sports muscles with the most exciting new game show on the planet, Beat the Brains, where regular ordinary sports junkies like you get to test their sports knowledge against the masters of the sports universe, the Brains. So buckle in, folks. From the Best Bet Studios, it's time to Beat the Brains. Here's your host, Jeff Foster.
Oh, appreciate it, gang. Thank you so much. We will get your introductions into this impressive panel as we move along. First, want to welcome you to Beat the Brains, a weekly trivia contest that we hope that you can play along at home with us. The questions are tough, but the teams may be tougher. So let's introduce you to who's going to be playing today. He puts the smart and smart Alec. He's Beef from Tintin XL in the morning. You ready to go today?
Ready to rock, Jeffro.
That's good. They've got Brains and they've got some Beauty as well. Beauty and the Brains with Tara Loggeman. Hi, Tara.
Hi, Jeff.
You ready to go?
I'm ready.
He's kind of a big deal. You know him from Tintin XL. He's Hacker.
Jeff, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, buddy. And Hayes Carline, or is it Carlene, joins us as well.
You guys are going down.
I like it, Hayes.
Ooh, I love it.
Hayes is bringing it. These guys are our first set of challengers, and maybe you know Chris Warren as Ox Gator. And this is quite a unit you put together here, buddy.
Yeah, we're not going to be underwear models anytime soon.
David Myers is known as Whitey. Now, the word is you've been kicked off about every radio show in town. We're going to ask you to keep it clean here today. And
You know, I'll do what I can, but I'm not going to make any promises.
yeah, Ed Clements. We got a father-son tandem here,
Yes,
right?
right.
All right. Well, Ed is John's father. He's an avid Yankees and Gators fan.
Yes.
And we'll see how much trivia he knows. And then his son, John, a wife and two small children, including a newborn, huh?
Yeah, 2-year-old and a 1-year-old be 3 weeks.
So this is I see what you're doing. This is a getaway for him, is what it is. Here's how the game is going to work. We'll have 3 rounds of competition, all right? The first 2 rounds will be a team competition. You'll have an individual face-off, and then if you gain control of the board, you'll have a chance to pile up points as we move along. We'll change things up just a little bit in the 3rd round, where you're going to have to go mano-a-mano for the entire round, and then in the 4th round, we'll take a tally of your points. You'll be able to wager up to half of them, and we'll see just who's the smartest in this first edition of Beat the Brains. All right, let's bring our captains up for the first face-off. Who controls the board first?
Good luck, Ox!
It'll be Beef from the Brains and Ox from the Challengers. And here is your question. The largest player trade in the history of the NFL occurred on October 12, 1989. It's centered around what star player? Ox.
Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker it is. The Challengers control the board. We'll have The Godfather, which will be questions about Tom Coughlin. Tiger Tales, as you could imagine, Tiger Woods. SOS, we'll see how much you know about Stephen Orr Spurrier at the University of Florida. Chop Talk is there for all you Seminole fans. Nifty Nicknames is, well, it's just what you think. It's nifty nicknames. And then High School Heroes, what category do you select?
We're going to go with SOS.
SOS. This will be trivia about Steve Spurrier and his Gator football teams. Are we ready? Now you can consult with each other to come up with a team answer. And our first question is this. In 2016, September of 2016, the University of Florida officially changed the name of the Gators' home field to what 9-word term? And it has to be exact.
Spurrier, Ben Hill, Griffin Stadium at Florida Field. Yeah. Steve Spurrier, Ben Hill, Griffin Stadium at Florida Field.
You can talk out loud. Yeah, it's allowed.
Steve Spurrier, Ben Hill, Griffin Stadium at Florida Field.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Brains, you have a chance to steal. I'll repeat the question. In September 2016, the University of Florida officially changed the name of the Gators' home field to what 9-word term?
Steve Spurrier Field at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Steve Spurrier Field.
The Steve Spurrier Florida Field.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Steve Spurrier.
Florida Field.
Florida Field.
Ben Hill
At-
Griffin.
yes.
Steve Spurrier Florida Field at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium.
That is correct. Yes. And the Brains have stolen. They are on the board for the first time. When you steal, you keep control of the category, but you guys pay attention. If they slip up, you'll have a chance to steal back. That's 50 points for the Brains. This is your 100-point question. In 1979, Steve Spurrier was the quarterback's coach under what head coach?
We're going to go with Doug Dickey.
For 100 points, Doug Dickey is correct.
Yes.
And the Brains jump ahead. Third question, 150 points. In April 2018, Spurrier was named the head coach of the Orlando franchise of what new spring football league slated to begin play in February of 2019?
That's the Alliance of American Football League.
And that is correct. It is the Alliance of American Football. Another 150 points for the Brains. Can they sweep the category?
Yes.
Oh. Providing the city and nickname, what two pro football teams have Steve Spurrier served as head coach?
It was the Tampa Bay Bandits and the Washington Redskins.
And that is correct. So the Brains sweep the first category. So after round one, the Brains living up to their nicknames. They have a 500-0 lead. Challengers are going to have to get at it when we come back for the next segment. And as a special bonus, the winner of each round is going to get a special prize. And in this case, it's the Bubba Burger prize pack. But I need you guys to stay hungry, so I think I'll give it to the challengers. Goodness knows they haven't won anything else so far here today. We'll step aside, take our first break. This is Beat the Brains. We're back with our second segment next.
From the Best Bet Studios, Beat the Brains is brought to you by Best Bet, featuring poker, simulcast, and racing in Jacksonville and Orange Park. Also by the Murray Automotive Superstores in Stark and Kingsland, Georgia. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, your favorite neighborhood eating spot, and the Carefree Boat Club. Boating without owning. It's about time. Coming to you from the Best Bet Studios, this segment of Beat the Brains is brought to you by the Murray Automotive Superstores in Stark and Kingsland, Georgia.
And welcome back for our second segment of Beat the Brains. So far, the Brains living up to their nickname, off to a 500-0 lead, but plenty of time for our challengers as we head to our second face-off question. We have David, we have Tara,
Good luck.
and here is your face-off question. Some believe that this Major League Baseball pitcher who started his rookie season 8-0 with 5 shut.
Fernando Valenzuela.
Fernando Valenzuela and Fernando Mania is the answer. So the challengers now with a chance to get back in this. Let's look at our board of categories and let's see what you think you can master, because you're going to need to make a clean sweep. Still left on the board, The Godfather, Tiger Tales, Chop Talk, High School Heroes, and Nifty Nicknames.
Jeff, you'd like to make an offer you can't refuse. We'll go with The Godfather.
I like it. My man here, he's got impressions as well. They have chosen The Godfather, and as you might imagine, these are trivia questions about Tom Coughlin and his early Jaguar teams. And I'll remind you, as each round passes, it gets a little tougher. And you have 0 points.
Thank you.
All right. In 1967, Tom Coughlin set this school's single-season pass receiving record. What college did he attend?
Syracuse.
Syracuse is correct. On the board for the challengers.
Here we go now.
Question number 2. In the Jaguars' first season in 1995, what was the team's record and who did they get their first victory against?
And there's 1-12. Houston, 4-12, right? Yeah. Yep. We're going to go with the Houston Oilers in 4-12.
Houston Oilers, 4-12. That's a correct answer. That's another 100 points for the challengers. And you got your work cut out for you as I give you question number 3. Tom Coughlin's first head coaching job from 1970 to 1973 was at which college in upstate New York, usually known by its 3 initials?
Upstate New York. I have no idea. 3 initials.
Albany. Buffalo. No idea.
5 seconds.
ABC.
ABC is incorrect. That means the Brains will get a chance to steal, but you stay there. If incorrect, you will get control of the final question of the round. So, again, I'll repeat the question for you guys. Tom Coughlin's first head coaching job from 1970 to 73 was at which college in upstate New York, sometimes known by its 3 initials?
Work with the initials.
ALB.
I thought it was Concordia, too. It was not the initials. I was just going with Concordia.
But what it's known by its 3.
Yeah.
Just try it. I know he was there. at some point.
What do you want to go with? What do you want
Concordia.
All right, time's up.
Concordia?
It is, that's incorrect. The correct answer is, takes a real smart guy like me to know this. The Rochester Institute of Technology.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, RIT, right? Right, RIT, sure, yeah. Correct, yeah, they beat Alabama, I believe, that year. Challengers now control the board, and this is the final question to get a little bit closer to the Brains. A 200-point question. Upon taking over as the Giants head coach, Tom Coughlin fined players for being 2 minutes early to team meetings, saying they should arrive at least 5 minutes early per his new rules, earning him what military nickname? With the Giants now, not with the Jags, with the Giants, a military nickname.
Colonel Coughlin. Say sergeant. Drill instructor. Could be drill instructor. Yeah, drill instructor.
All right, we're going to go with drill instructor.
All right, drill instructor is a good one, and I've heard that. That's incorrect. Not the answer we're looking for.
We're going to go with the general.
The general is also another good, but we got to go down a rank. Colonel Coughlin. Colonel Coughlin. You guys had like, yeah. Now, what did we say about kicking off those radio shows?
I thought I could, we're talking about the Hoover Dam.
Halftime on Beat the Brains. It's time for a Bono's timeout. Bring in the best barbecue in Jacksonville. Bono's goes to our halftime leader. That's the Brains, 500. The Challengers, 150. We're back for another segment next on Beat the Brains.
From the Best Bet Studios, this segment of Beat the Brains is brought to you by Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, your favorite neighborhood eating spot.
Back for round 3 here on Beat the Brains. Catching up to do for the Challengers, who are down 500 to 150. And I'd like to give a shout out to Trivia Nation, who's given us all our great questions today. You can catch their shows around town at bars and restaurants. And it's time now for the Shazam 2-minute drill, brought to you by the Murray Automotive Superstores in Stark and Kingsland. Point values, we're going to go up a little bit, and each man and woman has a chance to answer for themselves. Let's get Ed, let's get Hacker, and I am going to choose the category. We are going to go with Chop Talk. These are questions about FSU football. So pick up your buzzers. This is worth 100 points. If you buzz in, I'm done reading. So when you think you know the question, you can buzz, but you won't get the rest of it. You'll have to answer. Here we go. In what 3 years, based on the regular season year, not the January games, did Florida State win the national championship in football? Hacker.
1993, 1999, 2013.
That is correct. That's 100 points. 100 points for the Brains. And let's move it along. Up next, it'll be John. It'll be Hayes. This is a 150-point question. FSU football. A distance runner in college who was president of the Florida State College for Women as it made the transition from an all-female school to the co-ed Florida State University between 1941 and 1957. I'll give you a hint. You know this name for reasons other than what I just read. Like maybe perhaps on some of the buildings around town that football fans might visit. Doak Campbell. Doak Campbell is the correct answer. Yes. All right, that is 150 points for the Challengers as they draw a little bit closer. It is time now for the Jumpin' Jack's House of Food question. Whoever gets this question right, dinner for 4 for your team.
Yeah, baby, let's go. I love food. It's important.
Great food at Jumpin' Jack's. You been there? We have. All right, good. Here we go. This is the third question. Who is the only starter on the current Buffalo Bills depth chart from Florida State?
Kelvin Benjamin.
Kelvin Benjamin is correct.
Yeah, baby.
Now, there are other Seminoles on the Buffalo Bills, but Benjamin right now the only one on first team on the depth chart. Thank you, Tara. All right, so the scores right now, heavily in favor of the Brain Squad, but this is a 250-point question, so you can, you can get a lot of momentum going into the final round where you'll be able to wager on your point total. All right, here we go. FSU football trivia. Good luck. Nicknamed Jingle Joints and still holding the Florida State career record for most 200-yard receiving games, what Paxton High School graduate won a Super Bowl with the Miami Dolphins in 1974? This is a former Florida State receiver. Oh, Whitey. Go ahead, David.
Pageant.
Incorrect. We have a chance to steal.
Can I phone a friend?
I know you can't phone a friend.
Can you repeat the question?
I will.
Okay.
Nicknamed Jingle Joints, he holds the Florida State career record for most 200-yard receiving games. From Jacksonville, he was a Paxton High School graduate and won a Super Bowl with the Miami Dolphins in 1974. No, that's a hard one.
Johnson.
That's, well, it's a try. Ron Sellers, gang. You heard of Ron Sellers from right here in Jacksonville? There's some regret there, isn't there, David? You thought you could have got that one, didn't you? Well, who won that round? What do we got? Who are our leaders? The Brains still lead? Brains 800, Challengers 300, and you know what we have right now? We got the best sushi in town coming your way. To the winners go the spoils. Although I tell you what, don't they say sushi is brain food? Yes. You guys need to eat the sushi. Yeah, put the sushi on. Just bring it right over here because they need the brain food. Best Bet Sushi Room, by the way, best sushi in town. All right, we got issues here. Challengers trail by 500. One more chance to catch up with the final round coming up next.
Coming up this season on Dream Quest, we are here to help you to pursue your own quest.
You're going to compete in a series of events.
It was literally like staring in the face the areas that I have the least confidence in.
Events of the mind, the body, and the heart.
They're broken down. There's a couple of them talking about quitting.
You yelling is not going to improve anything.
I couldn't do it.
I thought I was going to die out there.
Beat the Brains continues now from the Best Bet Studios. This segment of the show is brought to you by the Carefree Boat Club. Boating without owning. It's about time.
And welcome back to Beat the Brains. We have reached the finish line. It's brought to you by the Carefree Boat Club. In fact, whichever team can master this segment and correctly answer the finish line question, you are going to get a half-day Carefree charter for 4, completely free, with a beautiful boat and a captain provided. All right, this is the way it works. It's 800 to 300, the Brains lead. Unless they have some sort of mathematical breakdown, you guys are cooked. The most you can bet is half of your point total. So the Challengers can bet up to 150. The Brains, if they have any, can bet up to 400 and put this thing in jeopardy, but we'll see. Here's the way it works. You're going to make your wager. I'm going to read a question. You're going to have a minute to come up with the answer. You'll write your answer down. If it's correct, you add that to your point total. Pretty clear? All right, here we go. This is what we're going to ask you to do. Name 5 players chosen by the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 1995 expansion draft. Name 5 Jaguars selected in the 1995 expansion draft. No, that just 5 in the expansion draft of the Jags. Name 5 of the 30 players they selected. I see a gutsy move by the Brains. They bet 300, which will leave the Challengers 50 short even if they get it right. But always get that boat ride. It's a tough question. You got to go back in time here to 1995. You remember a lot about the Jaguars' original draft where Tony Baselli was the first player taken. But when it comes to knocking out that expansion draft, you got to really rack your brains. In fact, the interesting thing about the expansion draft is that many of the players that you remember, they weren't the top selections per se. I think many of you can get maybe the number 1 overall pick in that expansion draft. Some of the other ones are tough. You have 5 seconds, teams, to come up with your 5 players. 5 seconds, 3 seconds. All right, all right, let's first start with the challengers. Show the audience what you've done here. Yeah, all right, they have written, let me see. Steve Berline, that is correct. Eugene Chung is correct. Jeff Novak is correct. And Dave Waddell is going to end the game. So, Mickey Washington and Dave Waddell were just traditional free agents, both signed by the Jaguars. By the way, way to blow the boat ride. Good job. All right, Berline is correct. Reggie Cobb is correct. Brant Boyer is correct. Rich Griffith, I think he was one of the original 10 Jaguars. That's going to do it. No, that also is incorrect. So no one gets the final question right. The challengers lose another 150 because if you're going to tank, why not tank really, really huge? And so there you go. The challengers could not beat the Brains. Maybe you can. Stay tuned and find out how you can be a part of this show. But for week 1, the Brains victorious 500 to 150 over the challengers. We'll see you next week.
Beat the Brains has been brought to you by Best Bet, featuring poker, simulcast, and racing in Jacksonville and Orange Park. Also by the Murray Automotive Superstores in Stark and Kingsland, Georgia. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, your favorite neighborhood eating spot, and the Carefree Boat Club, boating without owning. It's about time.
Think you have a team with the chops to beat the Brains? Well, here's how you can take your shot. Send us an email to brains@theticketjacks.com and we'll get you scheduled for one of our upcoming auditions to the show. You can audition either as a team or an individual and have us place you on a team. But you'd better be good if you want to beat the Brains.